the second item on our agenda, which is the authorization to advertise a proposed ordinance for brush, grass and weeds, bamboo regulations. And I will enter this, turn just immediately to Mr. Duncan. It's your turn, right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Our bamboo ordinance has been in place since 2016. We amended it in 2019 to deal more with the private property spread of bamboo. We've now had a few properties that we've dealt with that appeals have been filed, and we have a little bit more experience with dealing with the bamboo and the barrier requirement. And I have a couple suggested amendments that for the most part are cleanup based on our experience with the bamboo modifications. Currently, we require an impenetrable barrier, but really don't provide any description of what that barrier might consist of. So what I'm suggesting is that we include that barrier be made of masonry metal or high density 80 mil thick polyethylene. And the 80 mil thick polyethylene is probably the most critical of there, because there are different thicknesses of polyethylene that are advertised for controlling bamboo. So you could use a 60 mil thick, but we think the thicker 80 is really needed to make sure that the bamboo rhizomes don't penetrate that barrier. The other thing that we've experienced now that we've had a chance to observe the barrier being installed and dug to a depth of 36 inches is that there really were no rhizomes that extended down below roughly 24 inches. So what we're suggesting is instead of that be dug to a depth of 36, that it be 30 inches. And also the barrier itself is 36 inches high. So you want that barrier to extend a little bit above ground to help stop that spread of bamboo as well. So that 30-inch depth will give you the ability for some of that the barrier to extend above grade to provide that additional protection. And we also added that 2 to 3 inches above grade for that barrier. So I consider these, for the most part, a cleanup based on our experience now that we've observed the barrier being installed in a couple different properties. And I would be happy to answer any questions board members might have.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Duncan. I'm going to start by making a motion. I move that we recommend to the Board of Commissioners to authorize the Township Secretary to advertise notice of intent to adopt an ordinance to amend the Code of Township of Lower Merion, Chapter 59, Brush, Grass, and Weeds, Section 59.2D, by amending the depth of the impenetrable barrier from 36 inches to 30 inches below grade and requiring the barrier to extend 2 to 3 inches above grade. And I just love the fact that we get to talk about impenetrable things. So, okay, Commissioner McKeon has a second. Any questions or comments? Commissioner Gavin.
Thank you, Commissioner Sinai. I'll keep it quick. I just wanted to thank Mr. Duncan for bringing this forward. I know at least in one case, which is a bamboo issue that was in my ward, Mr. Duncan was incredibly involved, speaking with both parties, with the experts. He probably now knows more about bamboo than I think he ever thought he would and ever wanted to. I've talked with him a little bit about these amendments and am very confident that this comes from good experience and the right decision. So happy to support this. And again, thanking Mr. Duncan for all his hard work on this. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Vice President Gavin. Any other commissioner questions or comments? Okay, seeing none. Jody, do we have any public comment? Okay, seeing none, I'll call the motion. All those in favor, please raise your hand. Okay, any opposed? Abstentions? Okay, the motion carries unanimously.